All right, so to run through the warm-up quick, you cannot have square roots in the denominator, and I stands for the square root of a -1. So if you were not at class today, then I would just do this number one quick and then watch me work through it. Okay, because there is a quiz, and this is going to be the harder part of the quiz, is the division. Okay, so I'm going to multiply by the conjugate. So we learned yesterday that if I have 1 plus 2i, then the conjugate would be 1 minus 2i. Well, in this case, it's not 1 plus 2i, it is 0 plus 2i. So the conjugate is going to be 0 minus 2i. Well, to make my life easier, I'm just going to multiply by a -2i. So on this one, I would get a -4i squared, and a I squared is equal to a -1. So that would be a negative, so I would get 4. And then on the top, I'm going to have to FOIL that. So I'd get a -6i minus 4i squared. Well, this term becomes a +4, so it's 4 minus 6i. And everything is divisible by 2. So this would be my simplified answer. Okay, on the second one, you're multiplying by 3 plus 2i. So you're going to multiply the bottom by 3 minus 2i because that's the conjugate. If you multiply the bottom, you got to multiply the top. I always do the bottom first in case I make some silly mistake somewhere because I need the bottom to be a whole number. So that would be 9 minus 6i plus 6i minus 4i squared. Okay, and so the minus 4i squared would be, that would become a +4, and those cancel, so I get 13. And then on the top, I get 15i, and I get minus 10i squared. Okay, a minus 10i squared becomes a +10. So that's 10 plus 15i. Everything is not divisible by something, so that is my final answer. I would just leave it like that. And it is okay if you put it in the other order. I will always write my real part first and then my imaginary because of the math classes that I have taken. But I am not asking you guys to do that. I don't care. I will take both answers. It's not going to affect you anytime in the future. But it will if you're going to take a bunch of math, so you might as well just get used to writing it that way. All right, so last one. If my denominator is 1 minus I, I'm going to 1 plus I, I'm going to multiply by 1 minus I. And again, I always do the bottom because in case I screwed up, because I just did. See, look at that. It's got to be a minus. That's why I always do the bottom to make sure I've got it right. So 1, and then I would do minus I plus I minus I squared. Those cancel, and this is a -1, so that would be 1 plus 1, which is 2. And then I'm going to multiply the top, so I get 3i minus 3i squared. Okay, a minus 3i squared is a -3, so that's going to be a +3. So the top becomes 3 plus 3i. And nothing is divisible, so I would just leave it like that. So you will have a quiz over add, subtract, multiplying, dividing complex numbers.